Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 5 to you, February the 4th through the 10th. We're looking at shopping, preterite, and the imperfect tenses. For this week, you're going to want to study pages 248 to 253 and pages 262 to 266 and review pages 200 to 206, 214 to 222, and pages 230 to 233. At the end of this week, you should, after you completed all the work for this week, you should know when to use the imperfect tense and how to correctly form it. You should be able to identify the names of various specialty stores and what they sell, as well as other shopping vocabulary. You should be able to make an oral presentation about your childhood, demonstrating your ability to respond to questions in familiar situations. You should be able to use the preterite tense, sports, and weather vocabulary to write a paragraph describing what you did last summer. All of this week's assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, and 5, and this week's assignments are due on the 7th. You want to start off this week by looking at your instructor-made videos, which go over Chapter 8 vocabulary, the preterite, and the imperfect. Okay? After you've watched the videos, then you're going to want to click on the, whoops, did not mean to take you back out there. You're going to want to click on the class participation forum. You're going to want to click on the thread and then post any, then you hit, then click on the hit reply and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in the videos. Okay? You also have your final draft for writing assignment 1. I'm doing the video a little bit in advance, but you should see, we workshop this. You should see the workshop right here. When you open it up, you're going to see feedback that a fellow classmate provided and that I also provided. And you're definitely going to want to look at the feedback that I gave you and make the changes that I suggested. And then when you're ready, you'll open up the final draft. You're going to click add submission and you're going to paste the newest version of your writing assignment in here, and I will use the rubric to actually grade you. This week, you're going to critique a fellow classmate's script, so you should see another one of these little workshops. Again, I'm doing this in advance, so the workshop is higher up, but you'll see it right here, and it'll say Oral Dialogue 2, and you are going to use this time to critique someone's script. And then all of you will make your you'll make your recordings next week. And remember, so you're going to go through and critique your fellow classmates' scripts, and I'm also going to go through and critique them. Okay, and you also have my language lab activities. You want to visit my language labs and complete these assignments. And remember, the extra practice is not optional. It is assigned. So when you're ready, you're going to click and go out to my language. Okay, so when you go into my language labs, it's going to look like this. I'm doing my video in advance, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the course. You want to go in here and either go to the course calendar or the to-do list. You go to the course calendar, and then I'm going to want to, since I'm doing this in advance, it's January. If you ever want to change a month, you just hit these buttons at the top. I'm going to go into February. I'm going to click on the 7th. All the assignments should pop up right here. You click on them and then you complete them. You can do them as many times as you would like, but if you're doing them more than 3 times, I suggest reaching out to me. And when you're done, just hit finish and submit for grading, and then it'll go into my language labs. Okay, and that's everything you have to do for week 5.